The hour is at hand. I'd like to start off the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Citizens' input for agenda items only today. Hearing none. A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuels payrolls as submitted by the Human Resource Office for payroll number 26, the amount of $655,376.58.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
A motion is needed to pay all county and liquid fuel bills as submitted by the county controller in the amount of $3,033,899.57 from December 3rd, 2016 to December 23rd, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Announcements. A work session will be held on Tuesday, January 17th, 2017, beginning at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room. The next regular public meeting will be held on Tuesday, February 7th, 2017, at 1 p.m. at the Administration Center, 399 Stadium Drive, Sunbury, Pennsylvania. The Northumberland County Courthouse Administration Center and related county facilities will be closed on Monday, January 16th, 2017, in observance of the Martin Luther King holiday. Following correspondence was received: CEDACOG Joint Rail Authority Audit Report and Financial Statements ending December 31st, 2015, and County Commissioner Association Pennsylvania CCAP proposed 2017 budget. A motion is needed for the Commissioners to sign the state tax equalization voucher for transfers of real estate for the month of November 2016 as submitted by the Assessment Office.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the employee status sheet list of new hires, individuals no longer employed, promotions, demotions, transfers as items 1 through 8.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to reappoint Michael Schwartz to the Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area Authority Board for a 5-year term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2021.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to reappoint William Geis as chairman to the Agricultural Preservation Board for a 1-year term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2017.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to reappoint Richard Daniel as farmer director to the Agricultural Preservation Board for a 3-year term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2019.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to appoint Donald Furster as contractor director to the Agricultural Preservation Board for a 1-year term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2017.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion is needed to reappoint Frank Marcinic to the Northumberland County Housing Authority for a 5-year term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2021.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion is needed to reappoint Frank Marcinic to the Land Bank Authority for a 5-year term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2021.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion is needed to appoint Tom Aber to the CEDACOG Board of Directors for a 1-year term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to authorize the chairman to sign the certification of county funds form for the year 2017, designating $10,000 to the Agricultural Land Preservation Program.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed authorizing payment to the Borough of Mount Carmel Lower Anthracite Transit System as Northumberland County Sheriff for an operating assistance grant for fiscal years 2016-2017 as approved by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Is there
So
a
moved.
Second.
motion made and second on the question? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following reports as listed on your agenda.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed to approve the following proclamation: National Human Trafficking Awareness Month, January 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second on the question? All in favor state aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
A motion is needed authorizing travel requests and attendance at the following workshop seminars as in accordance with the county's Personnel Manual Travel Reimbursement Policy as listed on your agenda.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second on the question? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to the solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to adopt Resolution R01-17, resolution for Luzerne County Flood Protection Authority designating Chuck Hopta Jr. as the agent to serve on the Mitigation Committee for a term beginning January 1st, 2017 and ending December 31st, 2017.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R02-17, contribution agreement between the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania acting through the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and Northumberland County for reimbursement of the replacement of County Bridge Number 78 and County Bridge Number 100.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor state aye.
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 Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R03-17, resolution of the Board of Commissioners authorizing Kevin Gilroy, County Treasurer, to establish a Northumberland County Capital Blue Cross medical claims account with M&T Bank. This is a ratification.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R04-17, professional services agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Michael Balducci Esquire to serve as the Mental Health Mental Retardation Review Officer from January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017 per the attached order.
Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R05-17, professional services agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Tiffany Baldock Esquire to serve as first substitute mental health mental retardation review officer from January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017 per the attached order.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution R06-17, professional services agreement between the Northumberland County Commissioners and Michael Kula Esquire to serve as second substitute mental health mental retardation review officer from January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017 per the attached order.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adopt Resolution 07-17, lease agreement between the Board of Commissioners and the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry for office space located at 2 East Arch Street, Shamokin, Pennsylvania.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded on the question. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any old business to be brought before the board? Seeing none, is there any new business?
I have one point of new business. I'm in charge of, or I've been directed to handle the matters of the Airport Authority, and it's been brought to my attention that back in 2009, after Mountain View Manor closed, there was a tractor that was on loan to the authority for the purpose of clearing the runway. At the time, the tractor did not work, and it was the intention of the Airport Authority to fix it up so it would be in working order. So just to finalize and clean things up, the authority wants to know whether or not we're gifting that to them. We'd like it back. They would sell it on our behalf. So I'd like to put a motion transaction for a bill of sale for the tractor. I think it's a Matthew Ferguson tractor to be sold from Northumberland County to Northumberland County Airport Authority, and any money or value thereof to be kept in the airport authority's accounts.
And if you, just, in fact,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
aware that they called me initially, and I told them that you'd be, you handle the authority thing, so.
I got an email, and it indicated that basically they thought that the tractor was given to them at some point, but we don't have any
We don't know
bill of
if it was
sale.
given.
There's no title, I
Yeah.
believe, for the tractor. So what I would propose is, because it would be easier for and it's basically, in my understanding, is the tractor's in very poor condition. So what I would suggest is we just make a motion to execute a bill of sale for $1, transferring it to the authority, and then the authority can dispose of the tractor as they see fit.
Okay, so that was in the form of motion, and the only amendment that would be, it's Massey Ferguson, I only know that because I'm
Thanks.
showing myself as the farm boy in the room. So that was made as a motion, is there a second?
Second?
Okay, motion made and second on the question. Okay, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
My,
And, yeah, if anybody else has.
I just have a few things, and first of all, what I am going to talk about has nothing to do with the people here, Stephanie, or Justin, even Jen wasn't, or Kevin, or Mark, because I think they've been doing a good job on their reporting and things that they have put in, and they need to put in the papers what each commissioner says. What I have to say has nothing to do with Commissioner Best, who I value immensely, and I value her opinion. But this has to do with what I feel the newspaper, not in what they report, but in their headlines, is, I don't know the word, doesn't reflect exactly what I feel happens when we do things with the budget or when we do things. And I want to point this out. The first was the headlines last week after we passed the budget in the daily item, which said the $2 million transfer was used to balance the budget. That is not true. That is incorrect. I had let the Sunbury paper know that way before they printed that headline. The $2 million transfer had nothing to do with the 2017 budget. From the meetings I had with Mr. Grayson, my explanation, and that I understand it, and I'm going to try to say it so everybody understands it, is that the $2 million was moved from the debt service because funding that was coming in from the state did not come in time for us to meet the payroll and some of our expenses for the end of 2016. So in order to pay those, and one of them was payroll, we had to come up with $2 million. We could have borrowed $2 million and paid the expense of borrowing and paid the interest borrowing, or we had $2 million in the debt service because we really didn't do anything with the prison from 2016, so we had that $2 million sitting in an account. So it was thought best to transfer those funds to pay our expenses till the end of 2016, and then when that money comes in from the state and our general fund is balanced or adequate after the new year in 2017, we would return that $2 million back to the debt fund. It had nothing to do with the 2017 budget. And if I'm a citizen and I read this, it looks like, well, the budget's not balanced. They had to move $2 million to do that. Now, this isn't me explaining it. This is our people who we met with on the budget for 2 months explaining it. Chris, is that pretty much correct?
It's simply a cash flow issue. I look at the general fund balance every week, all year long. And in December, I noticed that it seemed like it was a little bit lower than it should have been in the beginning of December. And we found out that because of a holdup at the state level, funding, I think to the tune of like $1.8 million, almost to $2 million, didn't come in. So we inquired about it. We actually just received notification, I think Thursday or Friday that the state notified us it's on its way. So, I mean, it's literally, you know, it was literally a timing issue. So, in order to meet all of our obligations, we had the extra money in the debt service. It's a common practice we've done in the past, and, you know, we decided to move money over there literally for hopefully just a couple weeks.
Right.
And I seem to recall, because I know that it did happen in the past, and I know the first time it came up when I was in my first term as a commissioner, I questioned it to find out, you know, is this okay? And I as I recall at the time, and I don't think it was probably the prior controller, but also Concord Financial had looked into that as well, and just assured the board, you know, that no, this was perfectly appropriate, and it's done. You know, it's not an uncommon practice to do something like that, so.
I think it was done last year.
It was
With the
done.
last one, right.
We did it for $1,450,000 last December.
So there's no, so everybody understand, there was no finagling, or I don't know what other word you would use.
Sometimes the year-end payments coming in from the state are delayed, and that's what prompted it.
One more thing, though, as far as, you're absolutely right that, and I even, this year when we did it, I checked with Concord as well, and the magic number is a total of 30 mills in our taxing millage. If we are above 30 mills, then we are required to keep debt service separate from real estate. We're not. We're combined 26.868 mills, so we don't even have to have them separate as far as presentation is concerned. Now, we do, but we're not required, so that's where, you know, when you said about you checked with Concord,
Yeah.
you know,
That was back
You
the very
first,
time, just so, and I think we as a board did. I remember they presented something to us at that time to make sure everybody understood what was happening, and that it was normal, it was appropriate. So, okay.
Second thing, not to let the news item out of the picture. Steph, this is for you to go back with, not to Mark or anybody, but maybe to your editor. Again, the headlines, county passes $81 million budget, and then right with the headlines in bold print is that the numbers only look good on paper. Now, I worked on the budget for 2 months with a lot of the guys sitting here and women, and nobody ever brought to my attention that numbers didn't add up. We worked very hard to have the budget balance and not raise taxes. And what upsets me is if I'm a regular citizen who lifts up these papers, I look, whoa, we have a balanced budget, but was there conniving going on, or are the numbers moved? I don't think that's right. I think a lot of people worked very hard to balance this budget so there were not raising taxes. And I would have liked to seen something positive in the headlines. And everything else that was said in the article is fine. I understand that. But some people just pick up the paper, and then they think, yep, the commissioners again are conniving something. That's not true. I'll address some of the things that are in here that I will point out is not true, and I think maybe the newspapers need to check some things out, because one thing that upset me was it was said there was going to be a cut in prison staff, and nobody ever mentioned any cut in prison staff. And over Christmas holidays, me as a secretary, Brenda, or someone working as a guard and sees there's going to be cuts, am I worried I'm going to lose my job again? And I'd like the warden, if he would like to address that, because I talked to the warden when we were going over the budget about things with the prison budget. And warden, at any time did we discuss cutting the prison staff? No. In fact, what did we talk about at one time?
Increasing our full-time staff to cut down on our overtime.
Actually hiring more people to cut down on our overtime. So, again, if I'm a person working in the prison and I think I'm going to get laid off according to what this paper says, and Steph, I think that needs to be corrected. The second thing in there was about medical expenses being cut. First of all, the medical expenses for our inmates are covered by our housing cost. The money in the budget is for extraordinary expenses. Now, last year, Steve, if I'm not correct, we paid $64,000 in extraordinary medical expenses, correct? Projected for this year, for 2016. For 2017, in the budget, we have $75,000, which is more than what the projected, what we spent 2016 is. So, again, we're budgeting more than what was used in 2016. So, those are things that I'm just saying, maybe Justin, Steph, maybe statements need to be checked out more, or, you know, I don't know what. I'm not an expert in as news reporter or speaking, as you can tell. But I just wanted to bring those to the attention. Maybe you guys can go back and maybe we can set a meeting up with the editors or whoever picks these topics, because to me, if I live in a county that did not raise taxes, I would be thrilled. But when I look these up, they didn't raise taxes, but what did they do to not raise taxes? It puts doubt in my mind, and I don't think we're here to do that. You know, I don't think we're here to put doubt. I think we're here to express our opinions. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody here should express their opinion. But if we're going to put things in headlines, please see if they're facts, okay? So be it. Okay, thank you.
I'd ask Chris, as the controller, I mean, you're the officer who's, you know, sort of independent of the commissioners, and you're to oversee our finances and kind of be the county watchdog in that regard. In looking at the budget, I mean, do you feel that the budget is a valid budget, that things add up there, or were there you know, things that you feel were done inappropriately? I mean, certainly, I think you would have voiced it before now, but we can take this opportunity to verify if you thought that was the case or not.
Everything I saw looked legitimate.
Yeah, I mean, you also were in a lot of the meetings and things, because we value your opinion on it. So.
You know, one other thing. I shouldn't. I'd save this for next thing. But we have been working hard also. You know, this Northwestern thing. I think a few weeks ago, probably a few months ago, we added some land there, 365 acres, I think, that we agreed to add, which I thought was a good idea. And since then, we have been working with the AOA Park and making walking trails and biking trails. And these are things I want to bring, you know, to the papers. Again, I'm starting to have, how would this be perceived? But, you know, we're not finished with this stuff to put this in the paper yet, but we also are going to selectively forest that area where we're going to make some money from the trees, you know, selectively picking trees to forest out of that property. But I know last week we passed, it cost us $500 and some to transfer that property. A lot of people don't know, and I'll bring it out now, and Frank's been working on this. It just so happens that that pipeline that we made a deal with way back in January, February, everybody remember? Justin, you remember it? Well, guess what? The pipeline has to go over that 365 acres that we got. So we are now in the process of working and dealing with them on another source of maybe extra money that might come in. And we can't talk about figures now because we don't know the figures yet. We're still negotiating. But the pipeline is going to go over that. And Frank, I want to commend him for working on that. He's been in touch with me, and I think it's a pleasant New Year's surprise, if you would call it. And also the housing up there. I know things have been going slow, but we have showed probably 5 to 10 different companies on tours talking about renting the houses up at Northwestern. Some for detox, which I have heard many parents come to me and say, we need something like that. One that we hopefully can settle in the next couple of months is juvenile rehabilitation with drug abuse and things. And we're working on that, and one is on homeless shelters. So, you know, we don't call and let you know everything that's going on until it's settled, but those are things I thought I'd just bring up. Those are things we've been working on, and probably in the next few months, some of them are going to solidify, and when they do, I hope we get positive headlines, and I know we will. And another, Kevin's sitting here too. He worked on the budget with us on some things with the prison thing and all. I know we thanked everybody last week. I think I forgot you, Kevin. All right. So, those are just things. It was a short meeting anyway. I thought I would throw out. Okay? Thank you.
I have a comment. I think the idea that any elected official would more or less criticize the press to get better headlines is ridiculous. I also think that good or bad press is press. And I do believe that they do their best to follow up with the numbers. It is completely understandable for the average person, taxpayer, to pick up their newspaper and read balanced budget on one side and borrowing $6 million on the other, in addition building a multi-million-dollar facility over numerous acres of land, and say, that just doesn't add up. Now, you can move the shell around, but at the end of the day, we're not living within our means. We're spending more than is coming in, and that's a fact. And what Mr. Chickatano now has asked the press to do is to make some good headlines about the things that they hope will happen.
I'm saying truthful headlines, not good.
Hopeful.
Truthful, that
Hopeful
word.
things that will happen versus criticizing things that has actually happened.
Commissioner Best and...
Actually borrowed, I let you speak, and I'm
Okay,
going to speak.
Go ahead.
We actually borrowed from the debt service $2 million. We actually took out 2 trans in the total of $4 million. If you read the resolution for the tran, it talks about there not being adequate cash flow. And there's not adequate cash flow because we're spending more than is coming in. It's dangerous. And sure, this year, 2017, on paper, they didn't have to raise taxes. But you mark my words, there's no way a multi-million-dollar facility can be built with the tax income for our small, poor county. And for them to report that and be criticized and allow the reader to make up their mind about what is going on is unbelievable to me. And I hope all of the things that they anticipate occur. I'll be the first one to shake their hands when all this income comes flowing in. But to suggest that you should write about something that hasn't happened and don't mention the things that actually has is absurd.
All I ask is then you bring in your experts at the next meeting to let us know, or you come to a meeting and let us know what we're doing wrong, because I don't know that unless I read it in the newspaper.
You purchased Northwestern, that's what you did,
Which will save us a pile of money.
clearly.
Anything else? Okay. I think that, in terms of the press coverage, I think, what Commissioner Chickatano was saying, and I would reiterate as well, is you want it to be accurate information. And to the extent that there was a characterization of that $2 million in the paper as being needed to balance a budget, that's just not, that's not an accurate statement. This is something that happens as a matter of course because of state funding delays. Happens all the time. Trans are something that have been as a matter of course in this county and others, many others. It's in order to provide cash flow up until the time that your tax revenues start coming in. Certainly, we have challenges as a county. We have a challenge with our tax base, but again, I think that's what Commissioner Chickatano was essentially saying, and I don't find that to be absurd to make that request. I find it absurd that you have to make the request to have information be reflected accurately in the newspaper. I don't think that's too much to ask. All right. Is there any other new business? Any public input? Okay. Motion to adjourn.